Hi, and welcome to Shrouded Stories. My name is Denise Montanino, and today I'm joined by our guest, John Sottosanti. All right, I got it. And we're going to be talking today about um, your experience with the Holy Shroud of Turin. So, can you tell me about the first time that you had this experience of seeing the shroud in person? What a gift.
It was a gift. I was pretty much a non believer at that
Mm.
point in time, but my wife was a strong believer. Not so much in the shroud, but just in religion and our faith in general.
Mhm.
And I was too much of a scientist. All I cared about really was my profession, what I did in terms of surgery, helping my patients, and my career in the profession and building my way up through the academy to various positions. And religion didn't seem too scientific to me, and that it was
Mhm.
like I didn't disbelieve it, and it just wasn't important to me.
And what was your profession?
I did oral surgery,
Oral surgery. Okay,
and
amazing.
so by the year 2000, I had been practicing for at least 25 years.
Okay.
And I happened to be in an unusual situation in which I had heard about the shroud, didn't know much about it, but my wife had a newspaper that had an article about the shroud being on display for the first time in a long time in Turin, Italy. And
Mhm.
I looked at my calendar and I said, I'm going to be over in Italy. I wonder if it'll coincide.
Wow.
And so there was a surgical implant, dental implant meeting in Switzerland, only a couple hundred miles away.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, two birds with one stone. I write off the trip in a sense because I am doing an educational program, and I'll go see the shroud too.
Wow.
And I didn't think of it as being an important part of the trip necessarily, but I found it would be interesting. So I was able to get a ticket, got to Turin, and I get in this big long line, and it takes forever to walk your way in there. Then you learn you're going to be in front of the shroud for 4 minutes.
Mm,
And I
right.
thought, well, okay, I've been waiting, for a couple of hours and made all this trip. I got to make the most of my 4 minutes.
Sure.
So I get in line and I start approaching the shroud in front of the church because the chapel had burned down. So they moved the shroud into the main church in the year 2000. And I go by it and I have to turn to leave after just getting a glimpse of it. And that's what everybody did. They just got in the line and had to look at the shroud for 4 minutes and leave. But
Wow.
I was able to get a seat right up front because a man got out of his seat and I just sat down in his seat and no one asked me to leave. So I had almost an hour in
Wow.
front of the Shroud of Turin, the real Shroud of Turin.
How
And
incredible.
as a surgeon, what hit me is the blood on the shroud, the amount of blood, and the color of it, and the vivid nature of it. In some ways, the realistic flow. I mean, being a surgeon, you see blood flowing from wounds, but
Yes.
this looks somewhat, in fact, very, very real, and so much that it really impacted me. So that here I can close my eyes, 25 years later, and picture the exact place I was sitting, what the shroud
Mhm.
looked like, and it totally made me more receptive to the faith. Other
Wow.
things had to happen too, but it
Sure.
was a huge stepping stone in my life.
Wow. What an incredible experience. An hour in front of the Holy Shroud.
Yeah,
That is, I think many people in our organization and shroud lovers would have love that. That would just be such a
yeah,
gift.
I agree.
Yeah.
As much as I respect photography and the people that have taken so many wonderful photos, it doesn't quite do it justice. Maybe it's the
Yes.
three-dimensional aspect, but the color, even the realistic color that I
Yeah.
saw, just it
Wow.
was amazing.
And so as you were sitting there for an hour and just had that all that time to soak it in, what was going on inside your heart there?
The suffering.
Mm.
Did Christ suffer that much for me and for everyone?
Mm.
And I think it brought tears to my eyes, actually. And
Wow.
nothing else would have ever done that.
Wow.
But to really understand not only the blood itself, but the number of wounds on the
Yeah.
body, as you know,
Yes.
there's so many wounds.
And so you're sitting there at this time in your life, not much of a man of faith, not too interested in invested in your religion or anything, and you're just awed and moved by the experience.
I was.
That's
And it
incredible.
totally made me open
Yeah.
to the faith and to learn more about it. And now, because of a series of events, I'm able to come to this Shroud conference, which is
Right.
really exciting.
That's
to be
wonderful.
able to do and really learn the science.
So great. I love that. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
I was able to meet and get to know very well the co-discoverer of DNA, Francis Crick.
Okay.
And I found myself talking to him, who was an atheist, about the Shroud. Even though he was an devout atheist, and in a short conversation, I could not, convince him otherwise. But I felt that it was something that I could share with him, and eventually now I feel like I want to share it more with as many people as I can impact with my experience.
Wow, that's incredible. Also, the person that was a participant in the discovery of DNA, you had a relationship with us.
Almost 20 years.
Amazing. That's
because he was at Cambridge and came over to the Salk Institute in San Diego.
Wow.
And my office was right there.
Wow, that's amazing. And now you feel that the Shroud is in your life for you to share it and tell.
In fact, I just sent away for a full-size replica copy of the Shroud.
Wow. And what do you think you're going to do with that next?
I want to have it available. If somebody wants to see it, I'm starting to give Shroud lectures.
Okay.
To different churches in San Diego.
Wonderful.
As part of a program put on by John Paul II Catholic Radio in San Diego.
Wonderful.
And so I'm one of the Shroud speakers for them now.
Oh, wow.
All that seed was planted in the year 2000.
Wow. What a great story, and what a great testament to your faith and where you are now. It's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for asking.
Yes. Thank you. All right.